Final Fantasy Adventure on the Nintendo Switch. This game is part of the Collection of Mana cartridge that I purchased recently. Let's go back a bit. This is a game that came out on the Game Boy. I don't think it was a launch title, but it came out very early in the Game Boy's run. It's kind of like Legend of Zelda, and it's also the prequel to It's also the prequel to Secret of Mana on the Super NES. I'll go into more detail about that later, because obviously, the name Final Fantasy Adventure is meaningless to Japan because the game was known as, was it Seiken Densetsu? The point is that it was never a Final Fantasy game in Japan, but it was renamed in the United States as Final Fantasy Adventure because back in 1990, putting the Final Fantasy imprimatur on a game like this probably increased sales by several thousand. Tree of Mana grows. A mighty power. I mean, aren't they always looking for the power to conquer the world? Boy! Let me turn this music down for a second. Okay. So, this, as you can tell by the prologue here, this is not a Final Fantasy game. It's a Legend of Mana, Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana. It's a game in the Mana series. Again, it's the first game in the franchise that eventually became Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, Legend of Mana, and Dawn of Mana, and all those other Children of Mana, I think. I do have, which Mana game do I have over here? I got it in a box. I think I have like Dawn of Mana. I have a PS2 game lying around here somewhere. I used to own Legend of Mana. I sold it. It's terrible. I have videos of me playing it. It's probably a decent action game, but all of the combat is incredibly simplistic. Like I said, the fact that you can stun lock any enemy in the game just kills it for me. So what should boy's name be? Leroy? No, remember, your name can only be 4 characters, so I can't call him T'Challa. There's not enough room. I mean, and let's be honest. You can literally call your character an inappropriate word. So, I mean, it's an acceptable name, just so you know. So if there were restrictions on those names, they weren't in effect, just so you know. I wasn't sure what to call him. Boy. We can call him Boyo. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna save this. We're not gonna keep this game anyway. We're gonna reload a game save once we get past the prologue. What do we call the girl? Well, we're gonna call her either Cleo or Callie. You know, from Heathcliff. Nyan. Fight! So in case you're wondering, this, again, like I said, this is a Zelda-like game. So all you have to know is that you have an attack button, and there's a meter on the bottom of the screen that's always going up. But there's a very long wind-up on that, just so you know. But it's not going to make a big deal. This cat's going to go down in maybe 8 or 9 swings. So don't worry about it. Press the A button. So you can see that meter on the bottom slowly building. Like, very slowly. Yeah, got it. See? Easy. Totally easy. Boyo was a fighter of Empire Glaive. Doyle was a high school star. They were forced to fight every day just from the entertainment of Dark Lord. Dark Lord. Many followers of... Yeah, you weren't allowed to say they were killed. This drama doesn't really work. Big Willie style, no. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, you do that. I want to go home and see my Nissan. Okay, I can't move. She's in my way. Yeah, she's in my way. Get out of my way, woman. Go on. She's in my way. I was messed up. I don't know if, what's his name? Hiroyuki Kikuta did the music for Secret of Mana and its sequel. I don't know if he did the music to this game. Nor do I know if the Final Fantasy composer, Uematsu, did the music for this game either. Fight. Again. Sure, why not? My meter's almost full. Missed. Charge up my meter for like 10 seconds. I completely whiffed. I wonder if you can charge it up all the way in just one shot, dude. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 swings. Okay, so if you stand still, you do the big swing in an arc. But if you hold towards, and press the button, you wind up doing a thrust. So stand still if you want to do the arc, and press towards if you want to do a Zelda-like thrust. Okay, that's a wrinkle I wasn't aware of earlier. Freedom! Yeah. I sort of get this whole principle of making a Zelda-like top-down action game on a Game Boy, because remember, when the Game Boy came out, people really didn't know what to do with this console. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not controlling this. He's not dead. He's not dead. See? Totally fine. Wrong button. Okay. So you can press the select button and there's a map. So that's where we are. Unfortunately, there's no coordinates. That's not terribly helpful. There's no coordinates, so that map isn't terribly helpful. Dig this music a lot, actually. We'll go back to that. It sounds kind of like something from Ys, you know what I mean? Which this game kind of is, kind of like Wanderers from Ys, or the original Ys book 1 and 2 in a way. But there's no bump combat. You actually have to press a button to attack enemies. So we'll keep the music down for a second so I can establish the basics of combat, which I kind of already did. So I mentioned you can go to a map, but again, there are no coordinates here on the map. So we're going to head, well, it doesn't matter where we go. We're still about 3 squares away from a town. And like in Zelda, you're going one screen at a time. But again, there are no coordinates. So that's kind of annoying. Press the start button for your status menu. Let's see, you have items. Did I get any candy? I did not get any candy. Of course, enemies may drop candy. No magic. Equip. Like I said, this is a Zelda-like game, so don't expect like Diablo 3-like combat here. You're doing Zelda-like hit detection. So like I said earlier, you press the attack button when you're not moving for a little arc attack like this. If you press a direction attack, you can thrust the sword in that direction. Also on the bottom of the screen, you can see the meter slowly filling up. I don't know if that makes a massive difference. Maybe against some enemies it makes a difference. But I think we're going to wipe out most enemies in 2 or 3 swings, so it's not going to be a huge deal. But again, remember, this game came out on a Game Boy, so don't expect a whole lot of sophisticated combat. This is an early Game Boy title, so do not expect any really sophisticated combat. I can't go south, so I'm going to try and map. So if I can't go south, I'll just head east to the town that's over there. So we can also save our game back here, which I guess we can get around to doing. Press the select button. Not that. By the way, that effect where the screen closes in from top to bottom, that's a cute little Final Fantasy effect. Whoops. Well, okay, whatever. So we overwrote my game save from earlier, but that's okay. I made a quick save just in case, but whatever. We didn't do that much. That was important. Got him. He didn't drop anything, though. 2 swings brought him down. Status. Experience. So I got 2 experience points. If I kill 16 enemies, I'll level up. Assuming that matters a great deal. Where was the... I have to get across the river, so... The enemies do respawn. Be careful. So most enemies are going down in 2 swings. So if we charge up this sword, we can get a big swing on them. But again, this combat isn't terribly difficult, so don't worry too much about that. Ooh, piece of candy. It is a mana game after all, so you gotta heal yourself with candy. Hello, young man. Topple. And you gotta have the dancing innkeepers in these mana games, remember? Do I want to stay? No. But we can save our game here, like I said. All right, so the game's been saved. And we have a couple of quick saves here that I made, but we don't need to worry about those. So we're fine. So we'll bring the music back, we'll get a chance to practice. I mean, there's not really much combat to practice. So where are we going to go? Am I not allowed to see the map while I'm inside of a town? That's weird. So I can't see my map when I'm inside of a town. That's bizarre. Okay, so we'll bring the music back. And where are we going to head? Let's at least see where we're going to go. Okay, so we're still inside the town. So maybe the town can be several squares long, I guess. Is that the logic? Yeah, the town can... Yeah, this is the town, technically. So, well, if we can't go... I want to go south to the next town, but we'll see how it goes. Remember, maps weren't that big back in the early 90s, late 80s when this game was released. So don't expect much. I think this game came out in 1990. I wasn't paying attention to the title screen. We'll find out later. So we'll probably get into some more combat. I'll probably level up to level 2 or whatever. Pick a few fights. Oh, I want you to get mad. Out the way. Fine. I'll go somewhere else. Can't break the pots. Guess I can't break the pots. Out the way! God, out the way, brat! I don't have enough money to buy. I can buy another broad. Okay. She spawned in a good location this time. So I guess the town is several screens wide. That's fine. Protecting us from evil things. Tree of Man is protecting us from darkness. Get out the way, kid. Why would I? Never mind. Just ask every random passerby if they know a girl with a secret. There's only one way out, huh? Okay, so there's only one way out, huh? So I wasted that sword swing trying to interact with that well. Oh well. Get out the way! See, she spawns in a much better location if I come back. So weird. So can I go south? Because the plan is to go south, but the game might not let me go south. Okay. Already made it. Already saved my game, so I'm fine. I didn't buy anything anyway. See if we can go south. Okay. So I'll bring the music back. It'll be fine. So the plan is to go south and west if we can. So let's see what's up. Select my growth type. What difference does any of this make? I don't know. Power, I guess. Still 19 hit points. How about stamina? No. So if I increase my stamina, see how all my statistics on the bottom, on the right side of the screen are 2? If I increase my stamina, the others are still going up. And my HP went up by 1. I got 1 whole hit point. Ow! So I can't go south. I guess I have to go west? Yeah, I can't go south. Ow. Can't go west either. So I can't go west either. Go that way. I win. Well, it's on now. This might be a good spot to stop. We'll come back here in a second. Final Fantasy Adventure. You mean like the girl sitting right next to me? She's not the one with the secret of mana? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yes, you have anything else to say, girlfriend? Obviously not. So I wasn't expecting an escort mission in this Final Fantasy video game, but here we are. Yeah, I might be able to buy the iron eventually. I mean, I don't think I need it now. What I really need is more hit points. That's the real problem. Okay, we've already established. So why is she with me exactly? Like, we supposed to go somewhere in particular? I'm not gonna be bent out of shape about it. Let's just get out of here. First of all, let me move what's her name out of our way so I can get to that house on the left-hand side. I need her to respawn in a different place. Yeah, I need that chick on the right and the left to respawn in a different place. Yeah, there you go. So respawn in a better place, so now I can get to the house. That's the kind of game this is. Okay, I've already been here, so there's no reason for me to come here. Okay, that's a safe spot. That's a good spawning point. Thanks. That's a good spawning point. So kill 4 more enemies and we'll level up. So let's level up. I do like this music. I remember I never played this game when it came out. It's probably stupid expensive these days. I mean, I don't remember this game being ridiculously overpriced when GameStop used to sell Game Boy games. But there were some games like Final Fantasy Legend. If you don't know, Final Fantasy Legend is probably like $100 video game right now. Like that game is stupid. I've always been fascinated by that game though because I remember Final Fantasy Legend 2 being well. First of all, it's apparently a localization of Romancing Saga, the first 2 games in the Romancing Saga series. And Final Fantasy 2 was always fascinating to me because that was a game where you could I'm increasing my stamina, so I gained 2 experience. I gained 2 hit points. Hooray! Final Fantasy Legend 2 is a game where I think if you have a monster in your party, they can eat the enemies after you defeat them, and they transform into the beast that you. I think depending on the meat you feed them, when you defeat an enemy, they leave meat behind. I believe when you eat the meat, they can transform into that enemy or some version of that enemy, which I always thought was fascinating. Like if you're making an RPG Maker game, that's definitely the kind of mechanic I would put in there. You just have to lean into it. Romancing Saga always had lots of interesting ideas, I think. I remember because I played Romancing Saga on the PlayStation 2. I might even still have that game. That was a game where I believe like every fight you got into, if every time you won a fight, you gained experience, you gained attributes. Like your intelligence would go up, or your hit points would go up by 1 or 2 points, or your what was it? Like your intelligence would go up by your intelligence attribute would go up by 1, and your hit points might go up by 2, and your stamina might go up by 1 or 2 points. So you were always gaining experience every time you were always gaining an experience. Your attributes were always going up depending on the enemies you defeated. I want to say so. You were building your character by getting into fights every time you fought. And that was kind of an interesting idea. But I might need to pick that system apart because it sounded really interesting, but I wasn't sure how it actually panned out. But I played about 20 hours of that game. I really dug it. But it was a game that I played before I started recording videos and making commentary. So it's a game I would definitely revisit. Although these days I'm probably gonna have to play it on an emulator or something, which wouldn't be a huge deal. It's not a particularly demanding game. So defeat 44 more enemies and we can level up. My meter on the bottom of the screen is almost full, but remember, I want to say one of my attributes determines the speed. I think the action points. I think DP might be damage points, and AP might be how many points, like every second, how many action points does my meter go up? Maybe it goes up to 100 at some point. I don't know, but again, it's a big long line. If they had numbers, it would probably make a lot more sense to me. Where am I going? Am I going south? I want to go north, but I don't think there's a way for me to go north. Because there's a river in the way. See, I can't go north. I might be able to go around. So let's try that. Did I block that? I mean, I'm not carrying... Yeah, okay, so I was able to block that. Okay, so it's like Zelda. I do have a shield. I'm trying to use my arcing attack here. So I can... Yes, I'm attacking enemies that are above me or to the side. So you have a nice little arc to your attack, which is really interesting. Yeah, it's a nice little arc on that attack. So that's very useful. So unlike Zelda, you have a few more options. So you can stab the enemies by pressing toward and an attack button, obviously. Oh, he got me. I don't think I can go up. Like, I don't see the point of charging up this meter very much, because the enemies go down in like 2 or 3 swings anyway. That was the Rabbite from Secret of Mana. I don't know if I was close enough to hit him. Okay, let's bring the music back. Too bad our lady friend here isn't a healer. It's too bad our lady friend here isn't a healer. I have a bomb. Oh well. I don't think we can go north. Yeah, I don't think we can go north from here. There's a town 3 squares north of us. I don't think we can get there. Let's see what our options are. And I'm dead. Well. Yes, I guess we'll level up a bit. We'll level up some more. So level up some more and then end the video. But I just wanted to do some exploring before I ended the video. Just kind of see where I can go. So we'll play more. We might play another hour of this game. I'm not sure. Like, this game seems fine. But it's not the kind of thing I'd put 30 hours into, if I'm being honest. Like, if I owned a Game Boy, I'd be like, yeah, I might play this for a few hours. But, I mean, I have a Super Game Boy, but, I mean... So, I mean, it's the kind of game you would play, like, on the bus. In fact, I did play this game on the bus today. Yeah, we'll go stamina. So, yeah, this is a game I would play on the bus. But it's not particularly, like, mind-blowing experience. Like, it's a game you play when you can't play anything else. Which is what most kids who owned a Game Boy... Like, if you had a Game Boy, you probably... If you had a Game Boy, you might have tried to get your hand... If you liked Final Fantasy, you might have wanted to play this game if you saw it in Nintendo Power. Like, if I were a kid and I might have asked for this as a Christmas present. I'd be the first to say that. Because the idea of playing a Zelda-like game on the Game Boy before Link's Awakening came out might seem appealing to a certain kind of video game fan back in those days. I would not pay $40 for it, but I would definitely ask my parents for a $40. If I had a Game Boy back then, I probably would have asked for this game. So we'll come back and play more of Final Fantasy Adventure. Let's see. Turn to the title menu. This is being played. This is being played on Nintendo Switch from a cartridge. I'm recording the audio through my Skull Candy headphones, plugged into an audio splitter, into my J5 Create USB dongle through the USB-C port, into my quad-core Windows 10 camera application laptop. Low input latency, I guess you could say.